My tips for visiting New York City, things to do, things not to do. These are things I wish I had known before we'd visited our first time, and as somebody who's lived here for 3 months, these are the things I've learned that I think would be helpful. Number one, anytime you go to a restaurant or a coffee shop or a store that has a bathroom, try to use it, because there are so many places that do not have public restrooms here, including coffee shops, Starbucks. I've been to a lot of places where you either have to be a paying customer, which is fine. I may or may not have paid $18 to use someone's bathroom before, or they just do not have public restrooms. So I am the kind of person that has a teeny tiny bladder and I have to pee all the time. So anytime there is a bathroom, go ahead and use it. If you have little kids, definitely use the bathroom anytime you have access to one. It never fails. Anytime you have to go to the bathroom, there is not one anywhere around. Do not go to Starbucks when you're here. Do not go to Starbucks. There are so many, when I say amazing coffee shops here, you have to try the local spots. And I love to stop in a hole in the wall coffee shop and try their coffee. Those usually end up being my absolute favorite. My recommendation for more of a chain one that you'll find in all the different areas would be Variety Coffee, but do not go to Starbucks. Sorry, Starbucks. Getting on the trains. The subway can be super overwhelming, and I totally get it, been there, but these are my tips for riding the subway. Use your navigation on your phone. If you go to your Maps app, you're typically able to change your mode of transportation, whether it's walking, driving, or subway. Everything is very, very clear on how to use the subway, which train to get off, which exit to exit, because when you come out on a subway platform, there's multiple exits. It should tell you which one is closer. Follow the signs, and honestly, New Yorkers are so happy to help. If you see someone that looks like a local, just ask them. They're more than happy to help. When it comes to safety, one of the things I've taught my kids is just to be very aware of who you're getting on the train with. If someone looks sketchy or unsafe or is having a meltdown, which you will see sometimes, don't get on the same train as them. Go to another train cart, wait for the next one, leave the station, do whatever you need to do that makes you feel safe. We live in a city of 9 million people. So anything bad that happens is highly publicized, but in general, I would say I feel safe when I get on the subway. I feel safe in my neighborhood, but I also have eyes in the back of my head. I am one of those people that believes if you are not living life aware of your surroundings with eyes in the back of your head, you are doing it wrong no matter where you live. Another tip that is just like massively unknown is to take bags with you. So if you're traveling here for vacation, carry your cute purse, fine, but get a tote bag of some sort and roll it up and put it in your purse, because you are going to need a bag if you are going shopping. Bags here, most stores don't have them. If they do have them, you're paying for them. So make sure you bring a tote bag. Everybody in New York City carries tote bags as a fashion statement. You will see the most fabulous woman decked out in Chanel or Gucci, and she will be carrying just a regular tote bag that she got somewhere. I promise you, one of the most overwhelming things about New York is you always have your hands full. And I carry a big purse. I carry the Free People like oversized bag, and then I keep a tote bag inside of it. If you're coming here in the cooler months or the spring, whenever it could be hot or cold, layer your clothing. I 10 out of 10 recommend wearing a short sleeve or a tank top underneath a sweater or a jacket, and then if you have your coat as well, or if you need it. But layering is huge here, because the temperature changes so rapidly, and then if you're going inside and outside, you go from freezing to a non-temperature controlled building where you are sweating profusely. When it comes to going out to eat, it can be very, very, very overwhelming to decide on places, especially if you're only here for a short period of time. So I 10 out of 10 recommend, if it is a really popular spot and you can make a reservation and you know you're coming, in June, get reservations as soon as you possibly can. A lot of places use the Resi app, or I think it's Open Table. A lot of times you can just go to Google, search the restaurant, and they'll have the option to reserve a table. I really recommend it if it's a place that is a non-negotiable and you have to try it, if you can make a reservation. Also, when it comes to eating out here, stay away from the tourist traps. Don't come to New York City and go to the fucking Olive Garden. Guys, don't do that. If you are coming here and you tell me you're going to Bubba Gump in Times Square, I am hardcore judging you. There are so many good food spots here. Every other building is an authentic restaurant. Do not go to the tourist traps. Touristy traps are just not my vibe. Times Square is very overwhelming, not my vibe, but do not go to the tourist trap restaurants. If it's a viral place that you have seen on TikTok, be prepared to wait in line. And finally, some of my favorite places in New York City. These are, whether they're neighborhoods or parks, these are the things that I have found that I love the most, that are a little off the beaten path as far as not quite as touristy as, let's say, Central Park. Central Park is beautiful. You should experience it, especially on a warm day. It is magical to walk around Central Park, but everybody else has the same idea too. So if you want something off the beaten path, these are the places I recommend. Washington Square Park is definitely a tourist trap, but it is so beautiful. And if you go like during an afternoon or a day where it's not a touristy time, it is so peaceful to walk around. There's usually someone playing instruments. One guy drug a piano out into the middle and was just beautifully playing. It's just a very New York spot that if you can catch it during a not busy time, I really, really love Washington Square Park. Another one is Prospect Park in Brooklyn. It is absolutely beautiful. If you want to go to a park that is big and vast and beautiful, and there are lots of trails and playgrounds and places to ride scooters and things like that, I 10 out of 10 recommend visiting Brooklyn. First of all, Brooklyn is a magical place. I love it as much as Manhattan, if not more. But the Prospect Park in Brooklyn is absolutely magical and beautiful, like Central Park. Maybe not quite as many architectural things to look at. It's such a vibe there. And there is a dog pond. What? Love it. 10 out of 10 recommend Prospect Park. My favorite neighborhood and my dream neighborhood to live in would be the Upper East Side. It is so quintessential New York City. Gorgeous buildings, architecture, coffee shops. It is very expensive, but it is very residential and just such a pretty place. I personally think that Upper East Side is elite. Upper West Side, cool, not my vibe. If you visit Brooklyn, I recommend going to Brooklyn Heights and going to the parks that overlook Manhattan. You will see the best Manhattan views. It is absolutely stunning. We've been there before and we loved it. I mean, I could sit there for hours and just look at the view. As far as nightlife goes, if you're visiting New York City and you want to go to some cool spots, I love the Lower East Side for going out. It is gritty. It is a little dirty. It is all the things that maybe it's not your vibe, but I personally love bar hopping in places like the Lower East Side. So many different vibes, so many cool spots, great cocktails. Some of those hole-in-the-wall places, you'll find some really good prices on drinks, and it's just a really cool atmosphere. I love the Lower East Side for nightlife. My other favorite nightlife spot would probably be Williamsburg. Granted, we haven't visited all the spots. These are just places that we've experienced that we personally love. Williamsburg, Brooklyn is really cool. It's definitely like more of a younger crowd and a lot of vibrancy, just a great energy, so many great bars and restaurants and places to visit. It's a really cool place. I love Brooklyn. We live in Brooklyn. I'm a Brooklyn stan, and I think I always will be. My dream neighborhood to live in would be Cobble Hill. I absolutely love it there. It's really close to the city. Amazing views, amazing restaurants, and parks and bars, and everything is so cute and walkable. Lovely brownstones. It is also quintessential Brooklyn. We love our neighborhood though. So anyway, that's it. I hope you have a good day. Bye.